Hello, everybody. Hello, humanity. Welcome to yoga. It is Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo. We're going to be doing similar things to yesterday. This is part 2 of our hamstrings and hip hinging week. So we're going to focus on the hamstrings and just learning how to kind of hinge properly, but also understanding kind of where your personal hamstring kind of inflexibility is in relation to that good hinge. So we'll see lots of similar poses that we saw yesterday, but then we're also going to be adding in a couple new things. And for those of you who have attended my CrossFit class at the gym, we're going to be seeing some gorilla sweeps, which I know you guys all love and miss. I know I miss doing them at the gym. So again, same thing we're going to be working on today. If you are here and you have any questions, leave a little note in the chat and I will make sure to answer those. And yeah, what would also be helpful today, we are going to finish the practice today with our legs up the wall. So just to kind of know that when we get to the end, I'll say, okay, it's time to get to the wall. And my mat's kind of set up for that. I'll kind of make a little adjustment, but that will be an option for the end. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's take a seat on the mat with the legs straight out in front. All right. And so for those of you who haven't yet to work out today, I subbed the CrossFit class this morning. That was really fun. So don't miss the CrossFit workout of the day for May 5th. It was really fun. Okay, so let's go legs straight out in front. Now, if your hamstrings are super tight today, just go ahead and you can put your feet on the floor. You can cross your shins. We're looking to start breathing in this position. Okay. So wherever you are, let's go ahead and sit up tall, hands anywhere that's comfortable. Close the eyes. Let's just begin to breathe through the nose, just kind of filling up the lungs, allowing the lungs to deflate on the exhale, and just kind of getting some work with some focused breath. Notice how every inhale kind of forces you to get a little taller, especially if you're going along with the expansive breath. And on the exhale, just notice how everything wants to kind of soften back. Don't let it go. Sit up tall. Feet can be soft. Just kind of sit and breathe. Couple more rounds. To breathe through the nose, you can open your eyes. So let's go ahead and have everybody extend their legs out in front if you're not there already. I want your feet to be soft and just kind of relaxed. Okay? I want the big toes to touch, but feet aren't necessarily pulling towards your face. So nice and relaxed. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale. I just want you to round your spine and just gently bow. Okay? So in this particular forward fold, more often than not, you'll feel a nice big stretch along the spine and maybe into the lower back, maybe a little less in the hamstrings because we're actually rounded. Okay? And then inhale, bring the torso up. Let's sit up tall, arms up. And then exhale, try to get your chest over your toes. So now we're going to reach a little bit more. And I want you to create a little bit more of a flatter spine. So keep reaching the chest. And now notice how when you change the position of your spine, and we'll talk pelvis in a second, when you find that kind of extended position, it will intensify the stretch along the hamstrings. And then inhale, go ahead and come back up. Now we're going to curl our toes up. So this is going to, again, change the intensity of this next fold. Inhale, arms up. Reaching the chest over the toes. I want you to fold on the exhale. And grab for what you can. Now with the toes pointed up towards the ceiling, just kind of notice how that changes the intensity of the stretch. For many of you, you'll feel more in the backs of the knees than the calves, and that would be right on track with the way that your foot is positioned. So keep reaching the chest forward. Breathe. And what you'll notice is as we go through the flow, your hamstrings will warm up and they'll loosen up and lengthen. So at the very end, you should have more range of motion than you do now. Inhale. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. Left fingertips to the floor, to the left, or reach the right arm up. Lift and then lean over to the left. So a nice little gentle lean. This is more for getting us ready for downward facing dog. Inhale to come through center, switch left arm up, lift, and then exhale, lean to the right. Inhale to come back through center. Let's rock onto those hands and knees. We're going to go through a few rounds of cat-cow. So that cat-cow today, we're going to first start in the shoulders. And so I want you to keep your hips neutral. We're just going to move the shoulders. And then we'll do a couple more rounds where we're moving the pelvis so that you can really feel the difference in both the activation of this particular movement, but then how the spine moves and the pelvis moves as you do this. So let's go hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Just thinking of the upper shoulder blades. Just bring the shoulder blades together as you drop the chest down. And then press to the palms, round the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale to drop the chest, shoulder blades in. Exhale to round, tuck the chin. And the last one, shoulder blades together. And then press and round. Find a neutral position with the spine. Now we're going to go and move from the belly button. So on your next inhale, drop the belly button, lift the chest, and I want you to feel the tailbone curl to the ceiling. And then exhale to round, tuck the tailbone down, make it point towards the backs of the knees, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, round. Inhale to find a neutral position with the spine. Let's go ahead and take a kneeling position. Okay, go through a little flow here. So right foot forward. Inhale, arms up. Let's go ahead and let the hips sink down towards the floor for a little lunge. Exhale, hands down, straighten out the front leg. You can leave the foot just kind of on the floor. And then re-bend that front knee. Inhale, arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands down, straighten out the front leg. Now turn the toes to the ceiling. Okay, one more round. Inhale, rebend the front knee, hips low, chest up, arms overhead. And then exhale, hands down, straighten out the front leg, and let's hold. So you're going to curl those toes up towards the ceiling. So now in this position, I want you to create that cow pose. So the cow pose is where the belly button drops to the floor. Once you take your belly button, try to arch your lower back, tailbone reaches behind you. So now we get a little extra length in the right hamstrings without really having to fold forward. Reaching those toes to the ceiling. All right, inhale, rebend the front knee, and then we're going to switch. So right knee to the floor, left foot forward. Inhale, let the hips sink to the floor, reach the arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, hands down, straighten out the front leg. You can let the foot kind of just rest on the floor. Inhale, rebend the front knee, hips low, chest up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down, straighten out that front leg. Now curl the toes to the ceiling. Okay. Here we go. Inhale, hips low, low lunge, arms overhead. And then exhale, hands down, straighten out the front foot. We're going to hold. Okay. So again, now toes are going to curl to the ceiling. Okay. This front leg is got a soft little bend in it. So now let's find that cow pose. You're going to take your belly button and kind of reach down towards the floor as you take your tailbone and push it back. Now for most of us, that will create a flat spine. For those of us that have a lot of mobility, a little more hypermobility, you might actually see a downward curve of the spine. I'm looking for just a flat back. So if you have extra mobility, let's rein it in a little bit by tightening up your core. All right, inhale, rebend the front knee. Let's go ahead and come back to a kneeling position. All right, and then let's go hands down, tuck the toes, downward facing. All right, so this first down dog, just pedal out the feet. So let's bring the right heel down, bend the left knee. Then breathe. Both heels up, and then bend the right knee, drive the left heel down. And let's switch again. Right heel down. And left heel down. Good. Go ahead and draw both heels to the floor. On your next inhale, walk the hands back towards the toes, a little ragdoll here. So with just a soft bend in the knees, grab opposite elbows. Let the torso hang. Sway side to side. Shake the head yes and no. Good. Release the hands in, we'll walk them back out. Let's go downward facing dog. Look forward between the hands, bend the knees on an exhale. Just walk the feet to the top of the mat. Feet come together, hands on the shins, inhale, flat back, up halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, let's come all the way up. Arms can reach overhead. And then exhale, let's bring the hands back down. Okay. So we're going to start kind of talking a little bit more in depth about the pelvis and the way that orienting your pelvis can either create more tension in the hamstrings or less tension. Okay. So I want you to start with your feet underneath you. Okay. Hands just right on the hips. And what you'll notice if you stick your hands on your hips is that your first finger and your thumb should kind of be in the same plane, like the same line. Okay. So just standing normally, okay, most of us should have a natural curve in the lower back. Okay. Now if we're really tight in the hip flexors, we're going to feel a little bit more of that tilt. Okay. Now if we're tight in the hamstrings, the opposite happens where tailbone goes. So let's just play around with this tilt a little bit. So bend those knees a little bit. Now I want you to stick the tailbone out so that when you curl the pelvis down, your thumbs are higher than the first fingers. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to arch the back and stick the butt out. You'll notice how the fingers drop down below the thumbs. Come back to neutral. Okay. And then let's turn that tailbone down. You'll feel the thumbs come below the hands, and now the hands are high. Okay. To neutral, we'll go one more time each way. So kind of this is the cow pose. So arch your back with the curve of the pelvis, and it's going to light up different spots of the body depending on what position we're in. Before we continue on, here's those gorilla sweeps you've been looking for. Okay. So what I'm looking for is a really aggressive flex with the foot each time. You're going to bend your left knee, right heel on the floor. You're going to sweep your fingers down. You're going to step and replace. We're going to do 10 total. So this is 9. Keep going. 8. If you want to link your breath, you do it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. To the top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And then exhale, bow forward. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back and hold. Okay. So we're looking for a neutral pelvis here, but if your hamstrings are tight, you're going to feel a little bit of kind of curl under. We really want you to try really hard to just get that even pelvis going. So tailbone reaches back, top of the head reaching forward. And I'll exhale to fold. Let's go ahead and step back to plank. And then downward facing dog. Right from here, inhale, come forward to plank. Bring the knees down to the count of 5. You lower to the belly. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders down the back. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale forward. Off the floor if you like. On your exhale, lower halfway. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra up, down. Exhale. All right. Try a couple cat-cow in downward facing dog. So, I want you to bend your knees a little bit. Your heels are off the floor. Okay? In this position, you're going to curl your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Okay? And then you're going to round, bringing your tailbone to point down towards the heels. You curl, reach that tailbone up, and round. Flying to neutral, down with the heels. Now we move on. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps forward between the hands. Let's hold here. Okay? So we're going to focus on the left hip flexors. So let's drop those hips down a little bit. And again, lengthen that spine. Lift the chest up. Okay, on your exhale, let's walk the hands over to the left for half squat. I want you to place your left heel on the floor. You're going to turn your right toes to be in line with the left. Then we're going to bend our right knee. We're looking for an inner thigh stretch here. Now, if you feel like you've got a little bit more room, you can turn your left toes up and then drop the hips down. All right, inhale, hands either side of the front foot. Then exhale, let's just go back downward facing dog. You guys will be very happy to know that a bird just pooped on my mat, but it's on the corner, so it should be okay. So, step the left foot forward between the hands and we'll hold. Back leg is straight. Hips low, chest out. Let's find some length in the front, the right hip. Good. And then exhale, walk the hands over to the right. We're going to turn both sets of toes to the right. You're going to keep your right foot flat on the floor and then start to bend the left knee. Looking for that right inner thigh. If you have a little bit more space, you can drop the hips down, turn the right toes up. On your inhale, hands either side of that front foot. Hips down, chest up. And then exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Forward between the hands. On your exhale, bend the knees, and then let's walk the feet to the top. Hands on the shins, inhale, come back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Okay, so now we're going to go through a couple rounds of what's called a good morning. Those of you in the CrossFit classes kind of should know the movement. Those of you new to it, shouldn't be too challenging. It's very similar to that halfway lift. Okay? Here's what we want: feet. And again, we're outside, so apologies for the loud bird. Feet right underneath you. Hands to hips. Soft bend in the knees. I want you to pull the ribs in. Okay? Now, without emphasizing your tailbone going back or curling under, in just this neutral position where the fingers are lined up, we're going to bow. Keeping those shoulder blades firm and active, we're going to bow forward till either you feel the hammies or you can feel a little bit of break in the spine. Go ahead and push into your heels to stand. We're going to do 5 more of those. We're going to bow halfway, trying to get a little lower each time. And stand. Bow. Stand. 3 more. Good. Last one. Good. And stand. Good. All right. Feet together, top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's exhale, bow forward. Hands on the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, full plant the hands and just go right back to downward facing dog. Right. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, let's step it forward between the hands. High lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. And rest. Good. So because this back leg is straight, it's going to force, especially if you have tight hip flexors, a little more arch in the lower back than we might want. So first thing to do is pull those ribs in. Second thing is if you need to bend that back knee a little bit to kind of flatten out the spine down towards the floor, go for that. Okay. Reaching those arms up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And then exhale, fold, reach the fingertips to the floor. You can hop the back foot up a couple inches. Okay. Back heel on the floor for balance, widen your feet. Okay. We did this yesterday. Take this right hip, scoop it in. Take this right big toe, push it down. Again, there are 3 sets of hamstrings, so we want to make sure that we're targeting each each set so that the whole thing is equally flexible. Good. On your exhale, you're going to walk the hands now over into the left for a wide leg forward fold. Okay, so toes are facing the same direction. So as you fold, okay, just like we did in downward facing dog, here's a really nice opportunity to try to curl your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Ooh! And holding there, a little more weight towards the toes. Notice if you feel any difference. Like I'm feeling more on my right side, definitely more, than my left. Things to note, maybe a little more foam rolling on that side a little later. Then, on your exhale, hands walk to the top of the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's go left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward, high lunge. Inhale, rise. Again, thinking about the pelvis here. So if this back hip flexor is super tight and you're really kind of arched, bend that knee a little bit and pull that tailbone down. All right, inhale, straighten that front leg. You're going to exhale, fold. Hands come down towards the mat. Hop the back foot up. And then again, left hip scoops in. Right, or left big toe pushes down. And one thing to remember, because we all kind of have lower back issues at some point usually, is that hamstring flexibility is a huge contributing factor to low back issues because of the way that it can pull the pelvis out of alignment. So one way to prevent lower back issues is to stretch your hamstrings regularly or foam roll, whichever one you prefer. All right, let's walk the hands over to the right. Turn the toes to face the right side of the room. Back into this fold. This time, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. You're going to take your right hand and grab the outer edge of the left foot. Right hand to the left hand to the hip. And then you're going to pull your chest towards your shin. Then exhale to release. Replace the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway again. This time, left hand to the outer edge of the right foot, right hand to your hip, and then exhale, try to get your chest down towards your shin. Exhale to release, walk the hands to the top of the mat, and then downward facing dog. Bird pooped on my bird pooped. That's my husband, everybody. I'm showing my bird poop. All right, look forward, behind the hands, bend the knees on your exhale, send the feet to the top of the mat. Feet together, hands on the shins, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, release those hands down. Cool. All right. We're now going to position. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, grab the big toes. Inhale, let's lift up halfway here. And then on your exhale, you're going to squat. Get your hips low. Take your elbows and press them into the knees to press the knees out to lift the chest. And exhale, straighten and fold. Hold on to those big toes. Again, even if you have to bend your knees. Good. Inhale to lift up halfway. And then exhale, squat. Press the knees out, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, squat, knees out. And fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. This is the last one. Exhale, squat, knees out, chest up. Inhale here. And then exhale, go ahead and plant the palms down on the mat. Step it back. Down, raise it up. Good. All right, next, let's go ahead and bend the knees. We're going to swing the feet around and take a seat. We're going to come into a straddle. Okay? So the nice things about straddles is that they not only do they stretch the hamstrings, but the inner thighs as well, which is all connected. So just like we've been talking about before in the class yesterday, I want you to sit up tall in your straddle with your toes up. If a really wide straddle produces this, then bring your feet in to a point where you can sit up. Okay, so remember, the orientation of the pelvis here is even critical, right? This is that cat pose. We want to think more a little bit more of cow pose. So open the chest, feel the sit bones round. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, just reach forward. Again, trying to find that lifted, lengthened spine. And then bow as far as feels comfortable. Again, just noticing one side feels tighter than the other. On your next exhale, you're going to walk the hands over to the left, hands either side of the left knee. Inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, we're going to fold over that left leg. Inhale, walk the hands to center. Then exhale over to the other side. So hands either side of the right foot. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, let's go ahead and fold. Ooh, man, my right side is really tight. Inhale, walk the hands back through center. Sit up. And we're going to place left fingertips inside of the knee on the mat, right arm up. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, we'll lean. And then if you have a little more room and you want to thread that left arm under, go for that. But we're looking for you to open the chest up, kind of leaning back a little bit, and then kind of left hand anywhere that's helpful. A little side stretch here. Inhale to come back up. Reach the left arm up. Next exhale, let's go ahead and fold. And again, right hand anywhere that's helpful so that you can lengthen through that left arm and turn the chest up. Inhale, come back up. All right, so now we're going to start making our way to the floor. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to end with your feet up on a wall, this would be a great opportunity to move your mat into a position that allows you to do that. And we'll just find a couple more postures before we even get into that final resting pose. So let's go ahead and lay on your back or ring your ring. Try to be out of the way of the bird view. All right, so let's keep that left leg on the floor. Let's go right leg to the ceiling. Wrap the hands around the back of the right thigh. Okay. Now, if you have a little more range today, you want to go back to the knee or calf, cool. Probably back of the knee is as high as I'd like you to go because we're going to move just a little bit. But we'll see as we go. So on your exhale, I want you to just bend your knee, kind of release the stretch. Inhale, as you aggressively pull the toes to the shin, drive your right heel up, straighten the leg. Maybe pull the shin to your face a little bit. Good. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, drive the heels up. Pull the shin to you. Good. Exhale, bend. We have two more. Good. Inhale, straighten, drive the heel up, shin to your face. Good. Exhale, bend. Last one. Straighten the leg, drive the heel up, and exhale, bend. Good. All right, we're going to go twist. So just take the hips, push them to the right. Right knee falls to the left. And then you can go out with that right arm. With a bit of twist here. Inhale. Back through center. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So your right leg on the floor. The Place the hands around the back of the left thigh. Flex your foot, draw the toes to the shin. Then inhale, drive the left heel up. Pull the shin to your face. Then exhale, bend. 4 more of those each time. Try to get the leg a little closer to your face. Inhale, extend. Drive the toes to the shins, heels up. Then exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, drive, pull the shin. Then exhale, bend. We have 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, drive it up. And exhale. Good. Scoop the hips to the left. Knee falls to the right. Reach that left arm out. Just let everything hang. All right. Inhale, bring the knee back for center. Right now, we're going to set up so that we are keeping our legs up the wall. Now, depending on your flexibility, that's going to determine how close your butt can be to the wall. So when you get here, decide how intense you want to make this. Goal is to keep your back flat. So if your butt is coming off the floor, that's too close. And we're just looking for a position that you may feel a slight stretch in, but that is more relaxing than anything. Once you get your feet up on the wall, just let them soften a little bit. Arms go alongside the waist, close the eyes. And we'll just spend a couple cycles of breath here, just allowing the hamstrings to release a little more of the lower back. Just feel good. One last time before we move on with our breath. Another cycle of breath, trying to tune out any unnecessary noises. Chest. We'll roll onto the right side and then find a comfortable seat. Away from the bird. Finding a comfortable seat. Everybody take a big inhale through the nose. Let it all go. Open it up. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for joining me live and for making your way. Hi, Chelsea, for making your way through this hamstring flow. Hopefully, you guys can learn a little bit more about how your body functions and places that you might need a little more focus on, like specific hamstring, one side or the other. And again, we're going to continue this on Thursday special. This week, Coach Shauna, I think that will be the 7th, we'll be doing a little swap. So she's going to be doing yoga, but it's going to be mobility. And then I'm going to be doing cardio core. So I just want everybody to see, we want to see everybody. Thanks, Dominic. Thank you for always coming to yoga. Love it. So if you guys have questions, as always, let me know. If you found any helpful modifications, please leave it in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys are doing, or if you have any questions, we're here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And we miss you. I miss you. I can't wait to be back in the gym. And yeah, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.